Sekapur sirih seulas bina.
A very good evening to you and welcome to tonight's talk on the sacred place of Sirih. Of the sacred Sirih, that's right. Now, our guest speaker tonight hails from Singapore. He was born in Gedung Kuning in the historic Kampong Gelam of Singapore. I think Kampong Gelam is where the Malay race first resided.
That's Kampong Melaka. River. Yes.
Okay. So these are the other places you were there already. Because when I saw Kampong Gelam, I was excited, I guess, because I lived for a short while in Kampong Gelam, River. We have the same So our guest speaker here, is a collector of all things that are related to history and culture, particularly of the Malay world. He is also an independent researcher of things Malay, especially, and he holds a B.Sc in mathematics from Santa Clara University and has a master's in education from Stanford University. Right? So I think I'm sure we're going to enjoy very good talk. He's currently the director of an investment management firm. In his free time, he enjoys documenting oral history, amassing materials originating from Insular Southeast Asia, such as old publications, artifacts, food, and music. I think that makes the world go down. All these things, publications, artifacts, food, and music. So, without much further ado, it is my great pleasure to invite him to take the floor.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you very much. Well, good evening, everybody. I know this is a Sunday night, and we will be at home resting, going to get ready for the next day. And many of you travel long distance to get here, and I've got my family from KL. We are here to hear to my sharing tonight. Well, thank you very much, and I'm grateful to Bert Tan and friends of the Malaysian Heritage and Historic Club, for having me tonight to talk on sacred Sirih, tradition and symbolism in the Malay world. Well, we have here two Belgian botanic prints from the 18th century. One is this is the Sirih leaf, also known as hyperbetel. And when we mention Sirih in the Malay world, it's very likely that the next word would be Sirih Pinang. It goes hand in hand. So we have Pinang next to it. Pinang, also known as Areca Katichu. Or sometimes people call it betel nut, which is a misnomer because the betel plant does not have any nut. And this is not a nut either, it's actually a seed. So yeah, so we have this old print. I'm sure the inspiration is from the part of the world. Belgium was part of the lowland together with Holland. So they've really been exposed, and they managed to capture this in this whole volume on organic prints. So how did I get started? How did I get involved with Sirih? I believe it must have started way back before I made my appearance in this world. So I want to show you a little picture here. This is a group of 4 elderly ladies. I must have seen this image here in some waiting room somewhere, waiting for me to appear. This is on the eve of my parents' wedding. So this is my great-grandmother. This is a good friend. She was the matriarch of an Arab Peranakan family. This lady here, she was the wife of a well-known religious scholar in Singapore. And the lady in the background here, she was the official inviter of my mom's wedding. So for the days of really selling your card. It was the Sirih set actually that would go around from house to house. So I must have been in this waiting room, and I was so fascinated by these poor ladies. They were picking something out of the little containers and preparing wrapping in a leaf, and then gracefully with nuance, putting it in the mouth, chew it, and then they spit out this thing that looks all red into this receptacle. Absolutely fascinating. What could it be? So it dawned on me, this is little chewing. And then, as I was told as a toddler, I was notorious for tossing and turning my great grandmother's Sirih set. Right? Perhaps that was my way of saying, hey, I like this, but how do I say it? So I couldn't have all. Fast forward many years, the same great grandmother. For this great grandmother, I played the role of replenishing her inventory. So I would go to the nearest mama shop, this is before the days of 7-Eleven, to buy, whenever her gum beer is low or her Erica nut is low, to replenish her inventory. So and then I look at the family silver cabinet, and there's something wonderful about it. There's a part of me that I say, what, I want to know more about this. More than just the material value of what I see, all the various series that it's only used for weddings these days. So, what could it be, in a Malay culture? So let's take a look at this little the map of the Malay art Malay go. This is from 1778, and I said, okay, look at this. The Malay world is made up of so many different subgroups, and where did this Sirih and all all various components that go where they really come from? Interestingly, according to Markman, Markman was one of the persons who chronicles the voyage of Chengko, and this is what he had to say. So he said he saw this in Java. He said men and women, take everything out and eat, mix them with wine, made from clam shells, put it in their mouth, right? And then they were passing out. It wasn't tea. So Markman, coming from China, he thought tea would have been served first, but instead it was a Sirih set. Now, it's what's really interesting also that as far as the Tang Dynasty, this region, the Nanyang, South Asia, was also known as the land of the betel chewers. So it's no surprise that during the Tang, Erica nut was known as Pinang, after the Malay word for Pinang. Right? I mean, knowing that very well, the Tang was very during Tang period, they were open to was one dynasty that were open to external influences, and it was already traded, or they were in knew about Pinang way back then. So what about this gentleman here? This is one of the earliest European visitors to this part of the world. And then this is what he saw. He thought everybody was constantly chewing. And then he cannot imagine the moment he stopped and he probably died. And then in 1596, the Dutch arrived in Banten, the first Dutch fleet. And this is what they recorded. They saw the same phenomenon too. The Arabs were perplexed. The Europeans were perplexed. What are these people doing here? Now, Jacques Couta, who was the first European to arrive in Ayutthaya, saw this phenomenon and he had this conversation. So the people of Ayutthaya told him, they said, what? He said, this is beauty to us, right? So this is the way it is. The only people that don't have black teeth are dogs and ghosts and Europeans. So in other words, that was the norm. Spitting was perfectly acceptable to speak. So let's take a look at this Sirih and see where did it come from. Was it India? Because India and Burma are two countries where the practice is still endemic, right? So what about? Let's take a look at this. No, well, we call it in English, call it betel. It is because the first European, the Portuguese, landed in somewhere near near Kerala. The people of Kerala, the Malayalam is called Vitala. So that's where the word Vital comes from, Vital. Yeah? So Piper Vital. So it has a Vital leaf. And if you look at India, the various terms they use in India, they use pan or supari, pan for the leaves, supari for the nut, and all the various compounds is all got to do, they're all called names of the same word. Whereas in the Malay archipelago, let's take a look at the diversity of the various names. Because we have the in Riau, Aceh, the Java, Batak, Java, all the various. So this is Visayan in the Philippines. These are what today we call Filipino languages. There's a huge variety, which says that something about they must have been from this part of the world. And yes, like you're also aware that there's so many Sanskrit terms in the Malay language today, but Sirih is not one of it. So it could well be sort of it's indigenous here, it's in the region. So that's the linguistic point of view. What about archaeological evidence? Now, the earliest archaeological evidence found in carbon dating, they found a spirit cave in Thailand, the remains of Arika, 10,000 BC. And then we found skeleton in Palawan, skeleton all stained red. Yeah? It's 3,000 BC. Now, people called Belarus, renowned archaeologists, he said, detailed chewing is one of the 4 habits or 4 traits that you can use to trace the human migration from what is today southern China, the Vietnamese way to Taiwan, Philippines, and then all the way down to Southeast Asia, the Insular Southeast Asia. But another thing is from a botanical point of view, see, Areca together with the coconut are 2 of the oldest domesticated plants, originated and first domesticated, in this part of the world. So, so that people would sort of keep the conclusion, say it must have been, one of the things that's sort of identified in Austronesian culture. But the most compelling is the evidence of the contradicting the Indian origin is the Dongsont bronze art object. I've highlighted this in red because I want to revisit and explain why that is so. They found something like this. This is a spatula, very small, that you use to smear, to spread on the jam or to your toast, to smear the slate line, the cardboard, one of the components of the bit of Sirih. Dated from Dongston period, and guess what? Archaeological finds and later marginal finds to find similar objects for the same purpose. Okay. So what is it? So what is it about Sirih that has stayed with the people for thousands of years? Is it just a pastime? Is it just something like something that you like how you drink these days? We drink coffee when we feel like it, or is it a kind of addiction, or there's more to it? The answer, I think, has got to do in the components itself. If you look at the Sirih would climb on anything. It's a climber. Give it a stake, give it a tree stump, give it a tree, it will climb without destroying the surrounding. It's not a parasite. And guess what? Sirih, when it's mature and healthy, it will provide you with shade. So Malays look at it and said, no, this is a reflection of humility. It's giving, it's respectful. And you look at the pinang tree is tall, slender, it's upright, it promises a profusion of fruits even from a single stalk. So to the Malay, they look at this, it symbolizes, says, honesty, well-mannered, the high moral values and determination to excel. So how the Malay look at pinang and interpret it that way? Look at the pinang tree. What about the lion? No, the Malays are coastal and riverine people, so it's easy for them to get to get shell. It's from the big shell, that they pick the better ones, drown it up. There's actually calcium carbonate. So with water, you get calcium hydroxide. It's necessary. It's one of the things that turns whatever you chew red is the slate line plays a role in that. But you see, it's pure, it resembles pure-heartedness, sincerity. But when provoked can be assertive, it's exactly what happened. Calcium hydroxide in small bits is great, but too much of it is caustic. Yeah. So that's how slate line is viewed. Then we have Gambia. What is Gambia exactly? So all this just platelets. I have some here. I'm sure many of you are familiar. Many of you have grew up with grandmothers. This is a Gambia. So what is this exactly? Is it, somebody said it's tree bark? It's not a tree bark. In order to acquire this, you have to collect the leaves of the Gambia tree. The Oncaria, the scientific name is Oncaria Gambia. You take the leaf, you boil it for hours. It will ooze out a raisin. When the viscosity changes, it's very thick. You take it out, put in a little bit of mold, you take it and let it set. Once it's set, you have to put it in the sun to dry for weeks. The weather is good. This is a lot of work. So it requires lots of. So Gambia therefore represents perseverance, patience, and hard work. So a bitter quid, right? A bitter quid is made up of all of this. So what does it mean? Yeah, a bitter quid is a leaf, swipe of lime. Okay, these are the basic. Of course, you can have gomay. Sirih, you can have camphor, you can have rose petal, jasmine petal, cloves, cardamom. You do that in India these days. Yeah? You go to a fancy restaurant, at the end of it, they say, oh, sir, instead of a chocolate, they give you nicely wrapped Sirih. So what does it mean for the Malay to consume this? To consider to the Malay forefathers, when you consume is a reminder, what does it take to be a person, good person? What does it take to be human? All these qualities come into play. It's a reminder when you consume this, right? It has that meaning. And more, because it's got to do with our ancestors. Why is that so? Okay. By the way, this is the picture. She was the wife of the Kapitan China in Bangka. Yeah, in Mentok. Mentok is the old capital of Bangka. Bangka is in some ways of Palembang. So she's wearing grown in Sirih set from the wealthy family, beautiful Sirih set next to her. Not a very good picture. I took it from behind the glass screen. Okay. So there is more to Sirih than just this reminder to be a good person. This got to do with our ancestors, our past. Okay. You see Sirih in these days. Not in homes, not consumed like what I used to witness. We see lots of that in weddings and all that. Why weddings? Why marriages? Why engagement? Because I think wedding and marriage or engagement, and these are events that sort of guarantees the continuity of a people, of a clan, a tribe. Marriage is so important that your ancestors need to be present. So let's take a look at this. The use of Sirih again is the sacred act. When you look at the Dongsong items, I recently, I think it's still an exhibition right now in KL, in the National Museum, Dongsong object. Those objects are not utilitarian. The purpose of Dongsong object is to propitiate their ancestors. We don't know what is it exactly they use. For example, the rain drum. But that is, it has a sacred purpose. And in northern Philippines, for instance, there's the myth of the origin, not just the Philippines, even in what today is Indonesia, way before Islam, way before Hindu, Buddhist, during what we call pre-Islamic, pre-Hindu Buddhist, or we call pagan, there is the cult of the mountain. We look at the mountain, it's so majestic. We believe that our ancestors come from there. The ancestors must have come down from the mountain, and that's who we are today. Sometimes the mountain rumbles, I mean, we live in the ring of fire, so there must be something powerful about the volcano or the mountain. So in northern Philippines, the myth of the origin states exactly that. And what do? They do give offerings to to the ancestors. And the myth also says that the first father that came down to earth, he's packed, one of the things that he was packed to go along, to come down, was Sirih. So, in Bali, yeah, still is Sirih is not only as essential green daily offerings, but also entire class offering itself in Bali, still done. And then according to Anthony Reid, in the old Malay world, ancestral spirit has to be given Sirih. Yeah? I mentioned about Sirih cycle in marriage. Yeah? And of course, we also know that Sirih is entangled with magic, exponential. I'm sure all of us here have a lot of stuff to say about what Sirih can do. So sometimes I wonder, is it really the Sirih or the incantation or both? So Sirih is so central in sort of Malay everyday life. So I've decided to list down from birth to death how Sirih makes its appearance. So for instance, when you look at Lingam Perut, in Lingam Perut, the 7th month, right, it literally means sort of rocking of the stomach, gently rocking the stomach. It is the all-day baby shower. That's what it is, right? So during Lingam Perut, you can, before the days, before the advent of scanner, how can you predict whether it's a boy or a girl? So with the Sirih, and with a certain way of tossing it from the saucer that you prepared, and how it landed on the ground, you can predict whether it's a boy or a girl. Okay? And then when the tanggal pusat literally means, so the detachment of the umbilical cord, what happens to that little residual piece? You need Sirih to bring it down, to come in, to heal. Toddler's first speech. So calling first, let's say their first grandkid. The babies and the toddlers begin to speak. What do? You dab a little bit of the Sirih, and the hope that the kids will pick up the right lingo, would be be fast with his or her speech. Jemput semangat. Okay. So when we talk about supernatural, right? Sometimes baby cried all night long, and what the grandmother would say, oh, this baby sudah hilang semangat, right? It was semangat. So we're so familiar with mind, body, and soul, but it's another component of the Malay world. That's the semangat, that's the inner life force, the inner spirit, apart from mind, body, and soul. So when baby start crying, is it because baby is having some maybe tummy problem, or there's a lot of gas, or so what you do normally is the grandmother would chew, right, and smear some on the forehead or the ear loop in the hope of calling to kus semangat. Kus actually should be kur semangat. Kur as in calling. And as a sign of hospitality, of course, it's unthinkable. You go to somebody's house, there's no Sirih, it's telling you, you know what, you're not welcome. Shrine offering, we talk about that. Pledge of trust, yeah, you have to sign a contract, yeah. To court, again, to court, if I'm going to, whether it's engagement or even when I go Marise, even before I propose somebody, I send a representative, it's important, you bring a Sirih, it's an indication, you come here with a purpose. Because you want to find out about, is this girl suitable for my son or otherwise. State regalia, very important. Every state has a Sirih as part of the regalia. Indeed, in Malaysia, it's only in 1975 that the government decided to abolish the Department of Sirih. The Department of Seal is still around in Malaysia, right? But Department of Sirih, no more. Because otherwise, every time the king leaves, even she's going for, let's say, attending a Quranic competition, then the retinue have to come with the Sirih, have to come first before him. Yeah? So you need that Sirih. So any people of sort of high rank or aristocrat, when they leave the house, they would have a retinue, they would have a servant, somebody to carry the Sirih box. Diplomatic gift, absolutely. It was a very popular diplomatic gift apart from the creases. Now, where do you find fantastic Sirih boxes, silver, these days? London, Holland. Nothing in Malaysia, sometimes Indonesia. Why? Because the colonial masters, they brought it back. They would give. Today, somebody claims grandma's antique is back in the market. You find it some expensive pieces in Grace Antique, London. Yeah? Funeral. In some cultures, in somebody part of the Malay archipelago, is still used. Is included in the when a person is buried. And then of course pusaka, right? It's a great heirloom. So it will always be used. And there are other stories whereby a man he's going to pass on. He said, look, whoever cleanse my body, my final cleansing of my body, he gets to keep my Sirih set. So I've heard stories like that too. Oh, by the way, this image is the same image that they use for the advertisement. Please look at this is Javanese. This is from the 18th century. So I thought it's interesting, yeah? It's talking, it depicts sort of a reception. So it's so ingrained in everyday life that we hear our parents or talk about use beetle in everyday word. For example, kalau pernah wishes to climb the Sirih snake, kalau nak naik junjung. You know what that means, right? Because kado looks just like the Sirih, but kado is Piper Monggam, not Piper Beetle. It looks like Sirih, but doesn't without the characteristic of the Sirih, let alone the status of a Sirih. Right? So it's like saying the goose fancies herself a swan. Yeah? Right? Then bagai pinang di belah dua. So, look at this beautiful bright here, right? Bagai pinang di belah dua, like an areca nut split in two, well matched in every point of view. Because the areca nut, when you split, is all marbly. So then when you cut in the two marble pieces, of course it will match, right? So how they describe this? You know this person? Yeah. This is the father of Julius Dero. Yeah. And this style is a Malaccan style, by the way. Yeah, Malaccan wedding. And of course, you both Sirih naik, junjung patah. Junjung is a stake, right? As the vine's growing up, the crop gives away. That means just when you need the most, the person you needed most just, pass away or something, right? Losing someone you need at the very moment, he's gone. And then bagai kerakak kumur di batu. Kerakak is that base leaf. So when you want to eat Sirih, it's so important to pick the right one. Picking the right one for wedding. If I'm going to send you lousy leaves, that's not going to be good. No one's going to say, you know what, it's an insult. How you arrange the Sirih matters. The quality of Sirih matters. And if you're going to use Sirih for medicinal value, it's a different Sirih. You want a Sirih that said, bertemu urat. Urat is the vein, bertemu means all the veins meet. That's the one that we believe is has the most efficacy or the power to heal. So kerakak is right at the bottom, right? It's normally very brittle, it's dry, it causes moisture, no taste. So this is really a sad state. If someone tells you you're like a kerakak grown on the rock, you're I think for lack of a better term, a loser. Right? So the Sirih is not just we know all the use of Sirih, how it appears in our everyday lingo, but to the Sirih is a first aid box. So middle of the night, babies, you do not just the babies, when adults are not feeling well, you don't have a 24-hour emergency clinic, but you have this. This is what Sirih can do for you. Right? It's a painkiller, it sweetens the breath. The active ingredient in Sirih is phenol. So you have, we had too much of a kambing soup, what do? You chew some Sirih, it cleanses. You give the sweetness in your breath. That is antiseptic. It was known that people, when they go to war, all this pendekar, all this warrior, they will keep a stash of Sirih already. If they get a wound, they will chew, and the spittle, they will place it, and it will take care of in case of infection. Okay. So the whole leaves here, sorry, it looks like a laundry list of what Sirih can do. Yeah, relief constipation, removal of arsenic. Even curing elephants in melody. Elephant in a bad mood, give the Sirih and elephant will come down, because that's what it does. Sirih has a relaxant property. What about Penang? Penang, even Avicenna, Ibn Sina, medieval Islamic times, Penang made its way to European pharmacology. It has been used as a vermifuge, right? You know what it is, right? When you have worms in your stomach. So you take Penang, you will flush out all the worms. You'll kill the worms and flush it out. Yeah? Cures diarrhea, even gonorrhea. In Malaysia, we roll the roots of capsicum and pandan, right? So there's all this. I think this is one area that we have not given attention yet. Somebody needs to write a book to see what can the Sirih box do. The first aid box, what can it do? Look at the line. Relief B, you get harness steam, to go to your grandma's, Sirih set and you apply. It will relieve the pain. Right? Because it is alkaline, it has antiseptic property. It is believed to ward off, evil, supernatural intervention. If you know that, my neighbor across the street, they really met with me, and I'm afraid they might send something. So what do? You take the couple and you make a cross at the door to say, it's like the evil eye you see in Istanbul. To ward off, right? Say, hey, no entry. That's what it does. Yeah. But to me, lime is something else. I love my great-grandmother, my grandmother's lime set. Because it's unthinkable to make lopes without lime. I cannot make the crunchiest coating on my pisang goreng without the lime. I need that to get that crunch on my pisang goreng. And then down here, yeah. By the way, folks, I tried this. I had a very bad sore throat. I saw the doctor twice. It didn't work. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to do this. I crush it. I mix with water, let the sedimentary goes down, and then I drain. Guess what? My sore throat disappeared. Yeah. This is Sirih in art, right? Where do you see Sirih in art? Bujo Sirih is a grammatical term in the Malay world. So we have Bujo Telur. Telur is egg, so it's elliptical. Bujo Sirih looks like this. You have a very tapered face with a beautiful chin. So in the Malay ideal, so if you want to find your daughter-in-law or your girlfriend or wife, you want her to have a face that looks Bujo Sirih. Yeah? And then it's an inspiration for meandering foliage. You see lots of that in woodwork, especially Malay woodwork. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. These are not hearts. The idea of European heart as seen in play cards may came much later. To the Malay world, they look at this, they say it's Daun Sirih. Because it's just, it's really part of your cultural DNA, so it's not surprising to see Daun Sirih appear in books like this, in silverware. Textile design, yeah? Color preference, for example, how do we call orange in the Malay world? The color orange. You call it pinang masak. Yeah? I want color pinang masak. How do you see? Yeah? Pinang masak, it's called for orange. How do you else call orange in the Malay world? Folding up, this is not the real headgear. There is a headgear, especially in the Perak Sultanate, it's called Sirih berkembar, a twin Sirih. In other words, when you look at the temple or the dastar, it looks exactly like two leaves stacked onto one another. Yeah? In dances, all you need to do is just, there's so many, look at old Malay movies, dancing, holding the Sirih boxes. Yeah? Especially to welcome, guests or dignitaries. In songs, makan Sirih, Sirih Pinang, and also in literature, in publication. What is the word we use in Malay to say forward? Sekapu Sirih, there you go. Or Sekapu Sirih, it means the forward in the book publication. Because it's exactly what you do. It is the beginning of anything. You come to my place, I serve you with Sekapu Sirih, henceforward Sekapu Sirih. And accessories design. Take a look at this. Now, there are many speculations about this. They say this is Buato. But Buato is not indigenous to this part of the world. And they said this is the heart shape. It's not the heart shape. If Sirih is so sacred, what could be more profound than to have something sacred on your baju? When Kebaya was introduced, okay, the Malays were very command. The most part of the archipelago, right? Okay. You take a shawl. I'm using the Kelantan as an example. Kelantan, 1500, 3 pieces. Sarong around the waist, you have a kembang piece, and you have a shawl around you. In the shawl, you stitch the shawl, or when you cut it, it's the sleeve. Indeed, when we were so used to kembang, we don't know what baju is. So we were introduced by the Persians, by the people here, by the Arabs, very likely to be Persian because of this word. So from kembang, suddenly we have the baju. But baju is not a Persian word for dress, it means sleeve. The sleeve was introduced. And the opening is the front opening. You need something to fasten. That's the concept. So Strictly speaking, Krongsang looks like this. I don't know how old it's been adapted this way, the Indo or the Ibu. And the two other pieces. If you have the other type, the chain are all very identical. If you look at all the old books in 1950s or even before, in 1930s, the word for it is called Paniti. For Krongsang, strictly speaking, it has to be this. And B.Sc wrote in his book, 1900, he said, this is the Sirih, this is the Gambir, and this is the Pinang. Okay? So, and I was very lucky before, does anybody know who Tunku Lokman Sinar was? Yes, he was the de facto Sultan of Serdang before he passed, he was the last one before he passed away. So I had a chance to interview him, and I asked him about the same thing, and he confirmed what B.Sc wrote. Okay, so I thought, if you're going to talk about Sirih, a talk about Sirih is not complete without talking about its material culture. So let's take a look at the various Sirih boxes, because it sort of pinpoints to us a lot about the practices of the past. Oh, by the way, folks, this is the original Bottega bag. Alright. So, that's going to be portability. While you have Sirih set at home, people travel. Right? The Malay world is made up of islands. You cross island to island, you need to have some kind of portability. Right? So this is what you would use to keep your Sirih item. Another woven item, right? This text here is taken from the Pitt Rivers Museum in Oxford. It's interesting. They said only Malaysia. They said, because the British been around everywhere. They've seen, things been woven. Only Malaysia we see anyam gila. They said the mad beef, because weaving, you normally get a flat surface. How do you get it embossed and raised? Because it's a very tricky way. I read it before. They say there's a way of counting. 1 up, 3 down, 1 up. I don't know how to achieve that. Finally, you get all these raised features. All these raised features, the star shape. Yeah. This is a Sirih box. This is from Medan. Brass and fretwork. See, the Malays have always loved fretwork because it gives a sense of lightness. It's not just a solid piece. Whether it's a 9th century Aceh terracotta, whether it's a brass work like this, or whether in the embroidery of the kebaya, also known as kerancang. It's a dedicated name for, because you see, lace is not from this part of the world. Lace is very much European, where you need needles and all that. But how do people in this part of the world achieve that lacy effect? They literally cut it off. Very delicately, they embroider it and then they pull out to give that lacy effect. And that kind of stuff is called kerancang. This is from Aceh. Okay. You will notice the 3 types in total of Sirih set. One is either box, or in a tray, or a bowl. If it's in a bowl, very likely you place everything together. But if it's in a tray, you're bound to see all the individual little components called cembor. Okay, this is the box type. Aceh. Another one from Aceh. But notice, this is different. Hey, it's the same function, same look, it's the same cake, different icing. This has got a very strong Mongol influence. It's no surprise because Aceh is also known as the veranda to Makkah. Aceh has the first contact from the outside world. If you're coming from Indian subcontinent or from the Near East, very likely you hit Aceh first. And it's no surprise that Aceh has the earliest Islamic kingdom way before Malacca. There's a tendency for us to think that everything that's got to be Malay Muslim, it must be Malacca. Sorry to say, you folks, but they're all pockets, a colony of so many Muslim states. But Pasai was the first. But when the son of Parameswara married the daughter of Pasai, these became Muslim. Look at this. This is Sumatran. See, this piece is burr wood, but it's all covered with silver lace work. Again, lace work to give that, that negative positive in a certain space, and give a greater sense of lightness. Very interesting. Found in Singapore, not made in Singapore. Yeah, but not made in Singapore. But I thought it's really interesting. I found this from the Jawi Peranakan family in Singapore. Yeah, the Indian Muslim. They were involved with publishing. And what is really fascinating about this is the Buddhist note. Yeah, it's a Buddhist note. So it's a reminder of of the early Malay Buddhist connection. East Java, Pras. Yeah? 100 years old. Palembang, lacquer, in the form of a glugur, asam glugur, all fluted. Yeah? But look at the chapel comes with it. I think it's very, and the artwork. It's very, very interesting. This is a tray form. Silver with the gold embellishment on top. Yeah. This is Banjarmasin style brass. Yeah. So the diversity of different. It just when you look at this, think of the craftsman. What inspiration, what creativity that went into this. Because we always celebrate, look, it was so beautiful, but who are these people? Where did you get inspiration from? This is very interesting. This is 1842. At the back of this, actually the size the picture doesn't do justice. It's got a good size, and I love this 3D effect popping out. And flip over, there's an inscription in Jawi, Malay, and Arabic script to say it's made in Padang for the Datuk. Again, Minangkabau Padang style, no cembol, everything goes in there. Today, Cerano like this, called Cerano, very hard to find. They only keep it when somebody wants to naik Datuk. In Minangkabau, anybody want naik Datuk Minangkabau, you definitely need this. You don't have this, you cannot naik Datuk. You cannot become a Datuk. Yeah? And next to it is called a Selapa. Chalpa or Selapa. It is a portable Sirih container. You hang it on you wear your baju, you hang it by your cummerbund. It's made of gold and silver. You pre-pack at home. And the lime you put it here because you don't want to apply the lime early on because it will react. It's caustic. So you hang on first. Everything all ready. Somebody invite me and say, hey, Bert, you don't have Sirih set, but I brought some of my own, right? So I smear and to makan right away. Okay. This is very interesting. This is Palembang. When you see lacquerware like this, it's very like Palembang. Even Palembang is an old, strong Chinese connection. But this was actually commissioned and used by Malay families, the Malay nobilities. So to me, this is what I call Nusantara Chinua Sirih. The Malays are also fascinated by Chinese design. We have Burong Hong, the Phoenix, we have Chiling sometimes, we have Motan, we have Peonies, we have the Sentinel, we have the clouds. Yeah? And what's really even more interesting is the fact that it has windows all around. And the windows here, they put fragments of kain lima. And kain lima is, nobody gets kain lima in Terengganu. You're lucky you can get some in Sumatra. Kain lima, as the name implies, is pixelation. How do you weave? When you weave your X and Y axis, your warp and your web, how do you know you get exact flower, that exact design over and over again? Through by cut. So there must be some fantastic mathematical calculation. This is Brunei. It's a special name, Brunei, we call it Langboy. The basics, the little pieces are all I know a Mandarin Oriental Kuala Lumpur has a set with all the complete set, with all the little compartments. Yeah? Again, fretwork. You see a lot of this fretwork happening. This is Chinese Peranakan. This is from a very old family. Okay. If you come from Fujian, you travel down, and you want to go to Palembang, very likely you will hit the Pulau Karimun. It's big island, fairly big island, and streets of, because the old streets of Singapore, there's a big Chinese community. They've been around for a long time, and many of them were involved in Gambia plantation. In Singapore, when Raffles landed, there were already Chinese doing Gambia plantation. They were invited by the Sultan of Riau to grow because that was the #1 import to Java. Talking of import, all these items like Pinang, like Sirih, we can get it easily here. We don't need to import really Gambia. Do you know that Penang, in the year 1823, had a total of import, based on trade figures, they were all together for that 1 year, the transaction, 6,200,000 bundles of Sirih, and each bundle is 100 stacks of Sirih. So it's enough to consume, everybody in the whole supplement, 20 pieces a day. And this is from the old Chinese family. I mean, the work is amazing. It's got fu shu on the side. It's all the Chinese symbol of, good luck, prosperity, and they have the Gorong in the middle, a piece of gold. This is Mindanao. We tend to forget the Philippines. The Philippines is the northern extension of Malay archipelago. This is from the Orang Maranao. Yeah? It's silver inlaid into brass, and the wheels are made of Spanish gold coins. This is from Jambi. Yeah? I mean, just amazing. I mean, who makes this anymore? Right? There was an exhibition over the Victoria and Albert Museum. It's called the Silver from the Malay World. Even the conservators, the V&A, he was perplexed. He said, how can we even do this? How did people do that in the past? This technique, this understanding, this sensibility. First of all, I love this. Minimalistic, right? Nice, clean lines. No, this tells a story. We know that coco de mer, this is coco de mer. In coco de mer, is the special coconut that looks at the human bumps. Yeah? This is indigenous in the island Seychelles. There must have been lots of trade happening from the Indian Ocean Basin and this part of the world. Butter trade, very likely, and made into a receptacle for Sirih. This is from one of the smaller kraton in Solo. Mother of pearl. Yeah? The inside is not very old, but the box is old and almost reminds me of a bit of Thai work. But then again, finding a crease in Java doesn't make it Japanese. The crease speaks by itself. So you see a work like this, could it be done by itinerant artists from Thailand? Or was already there, shared ideas, shared inspiration? This is my favorite. Because, I mean, I love all of them. Made in Singapore, believe it or not. This was made by a Buddhist Pandai Amas. They don't call it Tukang Mas, Pandai Amas. Made for his granddaughter's wedding. Down, this is the super designed, and I just love the refinedness of this work. I was so excited that I didn't even take the tray. I just took these pictures, not knowing that one day I'm going to give a talk on Sirih. So, but the tray is also a jaw dropper. Chinese Peranakan. Unusual. Look at the lid. See-through. It's a glass. And the glass is painted with enamel. And look at the base. Job. This is from Batavia. This is from Yogyakarta. Very old silver. This is not the original set. It's an amalgamation I put together. But what I like is it's fascinating. I see 3 frogs here attached to the stalk of the mangoes, this fruit, beluga fruit, very small. Yeah? Gold and silver. Very sexy. Yeah? A veneer of tortoiseshell. Tortoiseshell veneer. And the gold is red after it's been stained with tamarind. Yeah? So orang Kelantan, when they make orang Petani, when they make gold, it's not good enough to be gold, to have high quality gold. You want it red. There's a technique of staining by using tamarind. Found in Singapore, made in Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, things travel. Yeah? This is very much Dutch style, based on European chairs, European boxes like this. Yeah, wood. Sometimes get tortoiseshell, silver. Some comes with compartments, some no compartments, some come with chambol inside. Another beautiful, this is from our store, Providence Dato Jaafar in Pekanbaru. For some reason they said they wanted to find a new home for this. I happened to be there at the right time, right place, and I got it from him. This is Lampung, South Sumatra. Also a Sirih container. Is it too much? Am I telling too much? No? Is it okay? I can go on? Yeah. I thought it's good just to show the variety. This is Dutch. Crystal. Now, Dutch men consume Dutch were there for 300 years. Only the last 100 years, the Dutchmen have stopped and they moved from Sirih to tobacco smoking. Right? Tobacco, of all the ingredients that we saw, tobacco only arrived in 1601. Very late comer. The rest have been around for thousands of years. Okay? So this is how because the Dutch needed to eat Sirih because it's functional. So I'm going to do business with you, right? I'm a Dutchman. What do? I need to sit down with you. I don't drink coffee, but I'm going to sit with Baba Colin. You know what? He's a coffee drinker. I would drink coffee with him, right? That's what happened. So this is beautiful. I've seen, these are little figures, European figures. I've seen beautiful ones with angels too. You know, they enamel with angels. Look at this kelongsong of bekas sirih. How do you hold the sirih? I mean, it's endless. The eye is the inspiration. Look at this one. Even takes the form of sirih itself. Yeah. I mean, you can start, if you want to start a collection, you can start just collecting nothing but bekas sirih. I saw this image in a book out of India, dated early 1800, and I thought this sort of represents a quintessential Malay man with a pending, has a praise. He carries a salpa or chalpa, exactly what it is, right? On his sirih. By the way, this is a munshi, it's a teacher. It's not Malay nobility, it's a language teacher. There's like Munshi Abdullah, this is Ibrahim Munshi. Yeah? More of this chalpa, different shapes, different style, different region. Yeah? This is very much the border of Aceh and Minangkabau, and this is Melayu Riau. And you also need the kacik. Why do you need the kacik? Because you need to, how do you sliver? How do you slice? You know. So you need little nut cutter like this. Nut cutter. The top one is Madura. Madura, this is made from the same material that you use for making trays. It's been gilded with a gold here. This is from Kalimantan, on design. I like this a lot. Japanese, you look in, it's got swastika. Yes, swastika is a very old sign, right? It's Hindu, it's Buddhist. In medicine way, if you were to do mind mapping, it came its way directly from the Brahmin, right? Because you know, when you get a chance to go to Nalanda, Nalanda is supposed to be the first university in the world. In India, they're in the state of Bihar. If you go to Nalanda, you go to the original, the excavation site, there's a campus, old campus, and one of the buildings it says there, built by funds given by the king of Srivijaya, Sumatra. So it's very interesting. So they have this all this connection. So hence, no surprise to this swastika. This is Indian from Tamil Nadu. What about this one? Again, let's start possibility. This is for men. This is for women. Look at it for the men, for the bapa, right? This is like the army, the Swiss army knife. Pincers to dig your nose, to all the things that you would need, right, to clean yourself. So but for the ladies, they won't carry this. It's not elegant enough. They're just too butch, too macho. The ladies have something else. They have this what they call unchang sirih, right? We used to be so used to the term unchang te. This is unchang sirih. Typically, it's carried by the first auntie for the groom. The groom is going to the bride's house. The first auntie will walk, carry with her with the sirih. Not just the sirih that you need, she needs to carry a portable one. As she walks, all the tassel made of silver jingles to say, hey, I'm here, I'm coming. Right. So that's what it is. Now, you chew, you need to spit. This is called a kator. Common, different size, different design, so many different materials. So we come to the end. So I thought it's nice to end with a little pantun. Malay portrait. It goes like this. Makan sirih berpinang tidak, pinang ada di bawah tangga. Makan sirih mengenyang tidak, hanya kerana budi dan bahasa. So I was trying to say, beetle chewing without the Eureka lies under the stairs. Beetle chewing fills not the tummy, but only for graciousness and courtesy. Actually, frankly, I would love this to be interactive rather than me talking. It sounds like one of my math classes I taught. But it'd be great to be interactive. But I guess this is another chance for me to take questions from the audience. Yes.
Okay, now we are open for questions. I'm sure you'll have some good questions to ask. And shall we start with looking at
Sirih has always been blamed for, there's some circles that sort of attributed to Sirih for mouth cancer. I'm sure you've heard of that. Now, is Sirih narcotic? It is as narcotic as coffee, let's put it that way, right? It is a kind of stimulating. Sirih relaxes you, at the same time it stimulates you. During the Archinese War, when the warriors were in a state of sort of a trauma, they took the Sirih, calmed them down. We read about Hang Tuah and Sejarah Melayu. The Javanese women in Malacca were so gaga about Hang Tuah. Somebody said, "Come on, ladies, chew this Sirih." So that will take care of some of the love pangs of love. The makes the words Hang Tuah. Yeah. It does that, and sometimes I had this talk in Singapore. I was so nervous. I said, you know what? I forgot to take my Sirih semangat today because I'm so nervous. Sirih Boni or Sirih perangsang. Yeah? For some of you, ladies or even guys, you might want to eat Sirih komanis before you leave your house to be that glow, that radiant. So men, or women, the opposite sex will gravitate to you. That too. Yeah. So back to the medical sort of the medical issue. I think it's been consumed for so many years. The issue, I think, is the culprit is tobacco. Because when you start, we know what the effects of tobacco. Can you imagine you actually chew tobacco? So I think that's the issue. Not so much because you don't really. That's the centil, yes. That's right. Yeah, that's the olden days dental floss, right? Yeah. So what they do is they roll up into a ball. What it does is actually it takes care of the residue or whatever. At the same time, it's the flavoring. Just like after a meal you chew gum, right? So that's just the centil. They do that. My job as a kid was to find my grandma and say, "Where do I put my centil?" And then drop under the bed or it's under behind the TV. You know how she move from left to right. I'm sure you have seen some old BB here. They use the centil as well. Yeah.
I was curious. If you don't mind.
I don't mind any question.
Yeah. I've been asked to do this for Hantaran, Malay Hantaran, Sirih Junior.
Yes.
And they asked me, what is it for? So I told you, I've been asked to do this, so I do it very nicely, differentiate, do more. And is it from the men to the ladies, or is it from the ladies to the men? And what is the significance of Sirih Junior?
Okay. So, there are two records I find in preliminary research. Some is called Kampong Sirih. Some is called Sirih Junior. Same, the purpose is the same. How these days when we send weddings, you see all this fancy shoes, expensive handbag, beautiful dress, jewelry, watches, and so on. In the old Malay world, that's not important. The most important is the Sirih. The Sirih will be right in front of the procession, right? And Sirih is two-way. The man will give to the boy, the groom will give to the bride will exchange. Okay, they will swap. But the one from the ladies is lower. It resembles the tree. Somebody said, when you start a family, you start a tree. You're planting your roots. You're going to have offsprings and grandchildren and so on. Another way to look at it is this, because we all know marriage is the most important. For the leluhur, for nenek moyang, there's nothing more important for them to be present than in a wedding, to ensure the continuity. So, to have that is to have to be blessed. It's somewhere in the shape of the mountain, Mahameru, right? Mountain is always very, look at nasi tumpeng in Java. When you do Thanksgiving, you cannot have your rice just a cake. Happy birthday is not done with a cake. Happy birthday is rice in the form of rice in the shape of, as a reminder, your origin, the mountain, sacred, ancestors, the beginning. So same thing with Sirih Jojo as well. I don't know whether I answered your question. So, yeah, so that's really central to.
For the ladies, it's shorter.
Shorter.
Is that shorter? Okay, what is the ladies' Sirih Jojo shorter than the guys?
I I suppose the man is, you know, the head of the family, the man, you know, so ladies doesn't have to give, I don't know.
So
I'm not too sure.
Well, that it still plays a role in the culture, which I'm very proud of, because we still practice it. Why do you think the habit of consuming sirih has stopped? And as far as I remember, in the 60s, that was the last elderly, you know, a relative of mine consumed sirih. She lives with us. That was in the late 60s. After that, I haven't seen anybody in my family who consumes sirih.
I think there are many reasons for that.
That was the time, Has any studies been done on why?
Anthony Reid has a paper called From Betel Chewing to Tobacco Smoking. It's a very good study. He said, among other things, people view sirih as very disgusting, right? Spitting and all that. I mean, so you know, he's trying to project in a sort of modern day sensibilities. And you look at someone spitting, it's gross, it's unhygienic. That's one. The younger people, and also at the same time, tobacco. For men were the first to stop. Women were still consuming sirih. Yeah, men have really by 1800. Men has almost men has a lot of men in Indonesia have stopped smoking. I mean, taking sirih on a regular basis, but moved to tobacco smoking. What other reason could that be? But you know, it's interesting. They still play a role in the wedding. But yeah, somehow or other we don't find that very appealing anymore. Perhaps in the past, maybe for women, it's nice to give you the glossy, wet, red lips. Now you buy Estee Lauder, but you need to even consume sirih, right? Yeah.
Do you think the old health rules via municipal rulings and bylaws or no speaking would have had some effect on this? That
could be also a contributing factor too. Last time I remember was growing up, there was someone saying no spitting or something, because it could be sort of public sort of menace, right? People spitting the wall skin red. I've seen that too in some neighborhoods. Yeah. It's an issue now. Also, and there's a place in Singapore where there's a big Myanmar community. Yeah, foreign workers, weekend come out. They want to chew. They're young people, young men. They're chewing. So there are additional signs that I've not seen for a long time to remind them. It's big. Yeah. In Singapore, no one dares in Singapore. It's what, $5,000. So, Colin, you might that also plays a part, I'm sure. Yeah?
I read some time ago. I remember, I cannot verify this, but the rise of cancer, lung cancer, because of the tobacco, isn't it?
Tobacco is really an issue. Yeah.
So it's a health hazard.
People get more so health conscious these days and say, you know what, I want to stay away from that. Sorry, sir, I just said this.
No, it's similar to what the colleague said about government prohibitions, because in Taiwan for a long time, especially in Taipei, late 90s, they began essentially stopping being illegal. There's a lot of campaigns against it, but it's still a huge industry there.
It is. Especially in Taiwan, when you drive long distance, you need the sirih. Just like, when I go to the Andes Mountain, I discovered why do people survive in higher altitude. They were taking coca leaf, right? And in Taiwan, long distance drivers, they need sirih. And the funny thing is that it's always sold by young girls, wearing some low cut, sort of dresses, and all these drivers. So they sell these stimulants. I don't know whether it's the girls or is it the sirih. And it's what it is. Every truck stop would have girls selling. That's right. That's the term. Oh yes. No, understand, yeah. Any other thoughts, questions, views? You want to share stories or?
You wanted to find some antique view of
I think Bert and all friends of Malacca. Can you find any more in Malacca? Can you find any more of the series set in Malacca?
Baba, ask the Baba here. Okay.
Huh? Can you still find?
I forgot to show you when you came to my house. My grandmother had this series box, nothing like that. It's like a brown circular and this is series. Next time
Next visit to KL, yes. Well, I think the best bet, if you really want to find something there, go to Jakarta. I was in Jakarta about a year ago, and I found this beautiful octagonal brass from East Java. The style is 100 years old at least, and has been featured in some Dutch book, like The Guardian. They were purchased by people from Batani. And in my mind, why would people from Batani want to buy? I mean, what are they going to do with it? I mean, given, okay, in my mind, this is not nice of me. Given the political situation in Patani dealers are in Jakarta buying all these pieces. They're all old pieces. They know how to find. They have in mind to spot what is new, what is reproduction, what is old, and bring it back to Patani. No, actually, they brought it to Bangkok. Yeah. Because that is the market in Bangkok. And thanks to, after there's a movie called Langkah Suka, the Thai movie. And it triggered a new interest in things Malay, because to the Thai, mainstream Thai, with money, hey, that's part of our history too, Southern Thailand. The Raja Putri Hijau and Putri Ungu and all that. And they suddenly see all this beautiful Malay fabric, the creases and Tepak Sirih, and it's selling. So go to Jakarta.
Which pasar in Jakarta?
Well, if you want a good deal, but there's a lot of fakes there in Jalan Surabaya. Yeah? In Jalan Surabaya. So it's hit and miss. You're lucky that very day of the day before somebody just dropped some grandma's item, they don't want it anymore. If you happen to be there, grab it. Yeah?
What about those you can get in Cambodia?
Cambodia is very interesting. Now, Cambodia these days a lot of new ones. Very hard to find. They're equally beautiful. Yeah. It comes complete set. They have the gum beard. They have exactly all that we have. They have a different style. It's very beautiful for Cambodia. And the Cambodian ones also come in lacquer boxes. The boxes can be lacquered, but they all bleachable and are in silver. Right. Well, thank you very much.
So we've come to a close now, and before we say goodnight, no, we will. You want to choose it? No.
Oh, we have a friend here. Please.
You want to share?
Anyone want to choose it? I have the gummy, I have the peanut, I got the leaf. You want to try? Yeah. I mean, this is really medicinal. These are beautiful. This is Sirih China. Or Sirih India. Malay, Sirih Melayu, Sirih Kampong. Because you see, in Malaysia, there are 4 types. Yeah? Sirih Udang, the veins are red in color. Sirih Udang. Yeah? Red color. And then the Sirih Melayu. Sirih Melayu, sometimes I have difficulty to tell which is which. And then Sirih China. The Chinese one is very mild tasting. I like the Chinese the best. Because the Malay and the Indian one is very strong. Especially the Indian one is very strong tasting. Huh? Very strong, yes. I find it's too strong for me, Sirih. But I use the Sirih India to make obat. So, my mother, she's diabetic. She would crush this, soak in water, next morning she drinks. For 1 week, her numbers went down.
Only serious, yes.
Yeah. Without taking any medicine.
Sirih India.
Sirih India.
What is it?
Sirih India. Yeah. But for chewing, it all depends on your taste. And see, Sirih also, even for it's like grapes. Even for the same, let's say, you pick one Sirih, Sirih Chinese Sirih China. Depending on how big you grow, how much sun, how much water, the direction, there's so many factors. The same Sirih, it varies from this year to year, it's very different. Vintage, that's right, vintage. I was going to say vintage. Yes. Thank you. Anybody want to try, please feel free. And I also brought this. to look. This is Palembang. Yeah, mother of pearl. And look at the mother of pearl. I mean, these days waters, our water is not clean, right? We cannot get this sort of beautiful pinkish, greenish, bluish color from the mother of pearl. In the olden days, we could. The ship is manggis, yeah, with Chinese influence, right? Because it's Palembang. Wood. The top is metal. So feel free, come and take a look. I'm going to put on the table there. Yeah. Oh, and I've got the gobe as well. I'm going to show you. This is the gobe. My great grandmother, after a certain age, she was not able to chew. So you place it inside, you crush it. After you crush it, there is a way of popping it out. And then grandmother would consume because she had no more teeth, right? Now, all you can do is use lompang. A lompang is a small mortar. You could pound, right? And gobe in Malaysia, there are two types. One is gobe you see all the way through, or in orang utara bilang gobe buta. It is silk. It's shorter and it's silk. It's shorter because if it's long, how are you going to scoop it up? Right? Gobe buta means there's no opening. It's blind. Blind. Okay, you crush and you scoop it up. But there's another version that you actually push it up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we've come today, and in case some of you missed the greetings earlier when you were talking to each other, perhaps today is his birthday. His birthday today. So let's wish him. We're wishing you a happy birthday. From all of us. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Now, don't rush home. We have some simple refreshments at the back. It's our tradition to. Perhaps you should sing a birthday song for you. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I'm still in the bloom of my youth. Yeah. But we folks know. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming tonight, and thank you both for inviting me. I was from Singapore. Cake durian lapis. Yeah. And also, I also have the steamed fruit cake, steamed for 4 hours. The recipe came from the kitchen of Sultan Abu Bakar Johor. Oh, thank you. Come here.
One minute.
Thank you very much.
Sorry about the session.
It's okay.
It's the mangrove in Maridao. Because it's where the artist lives. And the back there is his signature. He has a studio.
Wow. Oh wow, look at that. Thank you so much. Thank you to my family from KL, because it's a long drive for all 4 of them. Anybody else from KL? Well, we'll come to thank you for coming. Yes.
How did you know about this lecture?
Members.
Thank you again. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Kami berdoa setiap hari. Selamat